Now we have a pretty good idea of what Mai is capable of with 2 bars and a full drive meter in terms of HD combos. Now we're going to focus on 3 bars and a full drive meter. 3 bar HD combos. What can she do in this scenario? The thing is, most Mai players in a real high level match are not gonna use 3 bars and 4 HD combos. The reason for this is because Mai is more than likely to get around 800 damage or so, possibly 900, but you can get around the same amount of damage for just 2 bars. You wouldn't waste 3 bars just to, you know, hurt the opponent unless you're actually winning the match. Now in this scenario, she can actually max cancel. That is canceling a desperation move into a Neo Max. Now, the thing is, she's not going to get that much damage off of a max cancel like that. I mean, the combo is relatively simple, but there's a lot of better options she can use besides that. Thus, she can get around 800 damage. Now, remember I say that you can corner carry with this move during a lot of your combos, correct? We're going to test this out in a 3 bar HD combos just to showcase how she can use EX moves within combos and finish them with a Neo Max. $777. 3 sevens. That's funny. Anyway, that's a pretty good idea of what she's capable of with 3 bars. And of course that max cancel. Actually, there's a much better example of a 3 bar HD combo right here. We just started off with EX quarter circle back punch, and then we go from there. And here we should get around 800 damage. $809 damage to be exact. Now again, Mai can spend less resources to get the same amount of damage, but let's just bounce back on subject. Again, the Mai player needs to understand when, where, and how to spend their meter. I mean, sure they can get a lot of damage from 3 bar HD combos, but would you rather save your resources while getting a lot of damage at the same time? That's why I put so much emphasis on 2 bar HD combos rather than just 3, you know? Like so. Because the thing is, you still have 1 meter left over, as you can see. Meter management is extremely important in this game, so it's best to be careful how you spend your meter, where you spend your meter at, because you're not only playing as Mai, but you're playing as 2 other characters as well. You have those to consider, and you have universal mechanics, like guard cancel blowback, and the guard cancel roll. Very good method of getting out of pressure. And as for 4 bars, you can just do this. Actually, after confirming in HD mode, you don't really need to have circle 4D, you can just do this. $823 damage off of 4 bars. Alright, so now we're going to focus on Mai's tricks, strategies, and general mix-up plan. So, apparently Mai can rush down quite easily, as with every other character, because that's what the game is centered around. But the problem is, what do you notice about her jump? She jumps really high in general. Even if she so much as hops, she still jumps very high. Which, the fact that she jumps so high leaves her theoretically vulnerable to dragon punches or flash kicks. So one needs to be careful about how they apply their offense, because if she's not careful, she'll get hit. Now, sure, dragon punches in this game don't really mean that much, but it's still something that you need to consider when you're trying to start an offense with Mai because of her jumping arcs. They take some getting used to, that's for sure. Now, of course you can change the trajectory of your jump, mix the opponent up a little, because she's powerful in midair, obviously, and this crosses up. She can even use this for getting out of pressure. Hence another reason why she's so noteworthy in terms of mix-up game and keep away. So starting a rushdown, you have to be rather careful against, especially against opponents that have invincibility reversals. So now we're gonna focus on Mai's Musasabi for a moment. This move, down charge up punch. I'm gonna set the CPU so that she will launch a projectile towards me as the Mai player. I'm gonna try to punish it with Musasabi no Mai and then jumping down like kick, canceling that attack motion altogether. Oops. Okay, here we go. Try this. Alright, now it's time to punish. She tosses a projectile, she makes another obvious attempt, and I punish that projectile. So this this move can be used for starting an offense. You don't have to actually cancel into jumping down like kick. You can just land on the ground and start an offense from there because she has little to no recovery anyhow from this. And then you can mix the opponent up. Also, another thing that needs to be understood is that Mai can start an offense from excuse me. She can start HD combos from hit confirming into her HD mode. Just like that. Let's showcase a better example. And we got ourselves another 2-bar combo sample. So, that's who Musasabi in a nutshell. It's a very good offensive tool, good for getting out of pressure, especially on wake up if the opponent is like a few characters away from you, character distance. Good for gathering some space. Do not forget about this move, please. It's very good, and you're building meter. You're still building meter by just simply moving around. Who else can do that besides just a handful of other characters, of course? Now, we're going to focus on another mix-up. Excuse me. You notice that Mai can cancel a lot of her normals into special moves, correct? She can also cancel this into her Musasabi. And cancel that Musasabi into jumping down like kick into a legitimate combo. She can also do this. Let's put the opponent on crouching guard for a moment. The opponent has to guard low for that crouching D. But if I do this, it's still a legitimate mix-up anyway. So just keep that in mind, don't forget about that. It's a natural combo, tricky mix-up, and it's moderately hard to block. Very hard to react to because this is still an overhead. It's always going to be an overhead no matter where and when you use it, no matter where you use it. It's always an overhead. And it's safe on block if you use it in front of the opponent. And of course, you can cancel that into special moves. The safest option would be air quarter circle back EX air quarter circle back punch. That's what I'm talking about. Because it's 0 frames on block, and you can still get some sort of advantage off of that anyhow. So that's another thing to keep in mind is her mix-up game, especially on the ground. Low, mid, low overhead. Just something along those lines, and then you can continue your pressure. Another subject we're going to talk about is Mai Okazemi. She gets a knockdown, she can go for jumping down like kick. She can also use that jumping down like kick for safe jump, Suedo safe jump opportunities. And of course, if she uses that in front of the opponent, or like right next to the opponent, she's safe on block. If she gets a hard knockdown, she can empty jump into crouching B. Or she can roll into the opponent and force a mix-up. Force a little guessing game. And of course, she can also go for the Mai Vortex, as some players would like to call it. It's unsafe, but it's also very annoying at the same time. A very annoying mix-up option. And should she get a knockdown, she can go for a jumping CD attack as well. or jumping A. There's a lot of stuff she can do in this scenario. Just safe jumps, mix-ups, little things like that. Alright, now we're going to talk about her frame traps and links. Here's a pretty well-known link. Crouching A into crouching C. Now it's okay if you don't actually get the links. There's no way of actually telling if you're going to get it right. You're either too late or you're too early. Again, you can actually use links as frame traps due to how the system is made. So even if you don't get the link, you'll still be okay. And here's another link to keep in mind. You can go into, you see, because from her KOFXIII, her projectile, she gets frame advantage on hit, especially when she uses it up close. So she can try things like this for a change. That's standing A, or crouching C. She can go into an HD combo that way. She's gonna get around 800. She gets around 800 damage if she links into that, of course. And that's it for links and frame traps. Well, that's not exactly the only frame trap she has. She can go for a lot of stuff like her EX Ruinbu or something along those lines, or even her regular Ruinbu for frame traps, and just her normals in general. Again, she has those buttons. Please don't hesitate to press them when they suit your purposes the most. Alright, we're going to talk about Mai's anti-air options for a moment. First you have your stand C, that beautiful hitbox, and you also have your standing B. This can be trustworthy for stopping hoppers and hyper hoppers. This is your secondary options for stopping hoppers and hyper hoppers. And in some cases, if the opponent does an obvious jump in, you can resort to this in certain situations. Again, can be useful at times. And you also have your jumping A and your jumping CD attack. Very annoying. Comes out very quickly. Don't forget about these normals. And of course you have your air throw. Then you can start your offense from there. And you also have Ruinbu, a Ruinbu preferably. At certain spacing that can be trustworthy as well. Especially if you want to keep the opponent from getting too close to you. And you also have her this, although it doesn't have invincibility, and you also have the EX version. Why would they jump in from there? Anyway. And of course, a la Neomax. Punishes almost anything in the game.